This presentation is your key to answer documents, or how not to be a bubblehead with bubble sheets. This presentation will cover the two basic types of bubbles that you will encounter on the test like the OGT or the OAA. The first is your standard answer with 4 multiple choice options to choose from. The other type of bubble form that we'll go over are the more identifying marks. These are usually found on the front and back pages of your test. When you are looking at your answer sheet, there are a couple important key things to remember as you fill in your circles, because your goal is to get the right answers in there and make sure the computer will read your correct answers. So some tips that you want to follow. Make sure to fill the circle in completely, and I'm going to try my best to show you using the computer. It's definitely much easier to do with pencil and paper. But you want to fill in, let's say the answer to number 1 is A. So you want to fill that circle in completely. Try to stay within the lines. And I know these bubble spaces are kind of small, but you definitely want to fill it in as best that you can. You only want to include 1 per answer. I'm going to switch colors here so I can show you how not to fill in answers. If you mark, 2 answers in 1 row, let's say you're torn between, is it B or is it C? Make sure you only mark 1 on your answer document, okay? 1 per question. Otherwise, even though B may be the correct answer, when the computer goes through and scores this, it sees 2, it's not going to count your answer. All right, another thing that you want to avoid doing on the test is filling in an answer with a slash. Okay, the computer is not going to be able to read that. You don't want to fill in with an X. The computer is not going to be able to read that. You also don't want to fill in just like partially, okay, on that answer right there. You don't want to fill those in. So watch out of what types of marks that you use on your answer documents. Your goal is to get it filled in completely and stay within the bubble. And so if you happen to just kind of go through and mark like this, just kind of squiggle monster all over the place, the computer is probably not going to read that answer. It's not going to count that as a correct choice, even though that may actually be the right answer to that question. The computer is not going to count these as you. So to demonstrate again, let me switch colors again. The best way to fill in an answer, you want to fill in completely and as dark as possible so that the computer knows what answer you intend. So we want to stay within the bubble, and we definitely want to use number 2 pencils only. No pens, no mechanical pencils, no highlighters. Stick with a good old-fashioned yellow pencil. One other type of bubble that you may be asked to fill in are the ones for the more identifying information or the identifying pieces of information. They look like a grid. You'll see blank spaces at the top, and you'll see a row of numbers, or excuse me, a column of numbers. Sometimes it may be letters on there, and you fill them out the same way as you do before. You write neatly in the number spaces, you fill in the circles completely, and it's always good to double check your answers. So to show you what this looks like on the test, let's say your testing proctor gives you the instructions that, okay, your location is number 931. So you would write the numbers in there neatly, and you would come down in the same column and fill in just like you do on your answer document. You fill in the corresponding circles to the numbers. These are usually found on the front or the back pages of your test. Follow the tips in this presentation and you have your key to answer documents or how not to be a bubblehead with bubble sheets.